Good morning, everyone. And topic for today is how to help children or how to um, teach children emotions management with Radical. This has been my favorite topic anyway. So even when I uh, went through my childhood, my adolescent phase, we we were not allowed actually to express our feelings and emotions. We were supposed to have kept it within us. I remember telling my mom once that I must be around 6 years or 7 years. And I told my mom, I feel like committing suicide. And my mom says, don't talk nonsense, get on with life. What is this? And it continued. Today's generation is perhaps different. We do pay attention to people's emotions and we do address them as much as we can. And yet, today's generations go through much more emotional stress than we have gone through because I used to constantly play with my sisters, my cousins, neighbors. We had a way to vent out our feelings, get on with life. There was a scope of exchanging with a lot of other peer groups, even if it was not completely open conversation with our parents in those days, because that culture was different for us. It was a conservative joint family, and mother may not have enough time, and everybody were busy with the housework and stuff like that. Even today, the same thing happens. Parents are busy, and children are left alone. They are left with their gadgets and instruments. They're left with internet. They're left with their WhatsApps and YouTubes and video games. A lot of emotions, when they cannot handle, go under the carpet, and psychosomatic diseases get born. So, a lot of illnesses have psychosomatic reasons for them, including simple tonsillitis or conversation or hoarseness or sore throat and cold and cough and fever and epidemics and stuff like that. Uh, you would wonder epidemics, even those who are emotionally charged often succumb to the infections, and people who are reasonably in good emotional space are in amazing shape all the time. We know how the immunity dips when you're emotionally low. We also know how our performance dips when we are emotionally low. We also know how we goof up when there's so much of emotional charge. But this we know in retrospect as adults. However, children, they really don't understand. They're baffled. They wonder why they feel the way they feel. They wonder what's happening to them. They don't have necessarily a way to open up and communicate very easily with adults and with many more people who could have helped them out. Nowadays, it's a rule to have a counselor in the school, and not necessarily all children take advantage of that because if one child goes to the counselor, the whole school comes to know that, okay, fine, he or she needs help. That means there's something wrong with. So it becomes a social taboo. And they do not unless they are pressurized by teachers and peer and the authorities to go and meet the counselors. And our educational system does not teach emotions management at all. We we're taught mind management, we're taught how to calculate very well, we are taught how to remember very well, we are taught how to use our logic very well. But if you're feeling low, upset, disturbed, weepy, cry, sad, angry, frustrated, irritated, lost, confused, sometimes we're not shown a way out in our formative years and years when the education is going on, and even later. Everybody learns their own ways to cope up. Some people learn by being destructive. Some people learn to by being preoccupied and extremely busy. Some people shed their blues by exercising incessantly. Some people just dump their system with a lot of food. Some people dance their way out. And some people just resort to substances. By the time they learn and they understand the creative way or correct ways to handle their emotions at source, it's perhaps too late for them. They've already damaged themselves, they've damaged their life considerably, their education considerably, and life probably becomes more difficult for them in any case, because there are repercussions of every action that they have taken, and repercussions of the way they have handled their feelings and emotions. Now, not everybody is over emotional. Some of them are. Some of them don't even know eventually that they ever had any emotions because they mastered the art of bypassing their emotions and suppressing them in their tissues and body organs. Medical practice thrives on those suppressed emotions today. Radical helps you recognize what all you've suppressed through understanding of the language of body. So every ache, every pain, every sensation can help you understand what you're thinking and how you're feeling in the given moment, and also gives you the remedial solution. But that's for you as an adult listener right now. What happens to children, youngsters, adolescents? Yes, I understand not all of them are ready, but catch them young. I have so many of my students who spend some time creatively with their children when they're young, right from 3 or 4 years of age. Teach them soul's love, teach them R5 technique, teach them emotions management, and help them sleep by clearing their mind. And when they start sleeping with their clear head, clear mind, they invariably land up performing better and better. They do well in schools. They handle their lives very well. And throughout the day, if there are emotional disturbances, they can handle it very well. That also helps them have a better communication with their parents and seniors. That also helps them have a better understanding of themselves. So they start understanding them better. Why I'm doing this topic? Because I've addressed several schools in the recent past in Delhi, Goa, and now I'm in Bangalore. I'm going to address 2 institutes and a lot of students and teachers over here. My request would be to reach out to a lot of young children and spot them when they need emotional support, because it's very easy to teach soul's love technique or R5 technique or any similar technique that you know of, and teach them, empower them, help them, and make them self-sufficient in their emotional management, because today's children are our future assets, and a little contribution to them will make a huge difference in the way they live their future life. And at the same time, heal your inner children. I'm going to talk about inner children tomorrow, and we can easily start addressing our own pains that we have experienced in the past till the time we become completely neutral and talk about our childhood without any emotional charge. And if you're connected to educational institutes, do grab an opportunity to teach them emotional management en masse, not the institute, but children and teachers group, so that we have much sorted, much calmer, much more peaceful youth eventually. All the juvenile um incidents we see, the criminals that we see, the young children taking guns and shooting a lot of people, we blame it on media, we blame it on certain culture, political scenario. However, if we if they ever knew how to handle their emotions well, probably they wouldn't be so destructive towards themselves or others. We often bear the brunt, directly or indirectly, when the society is full of unrest. To create a better society, we need to create individuals who are more peaceful, calm, and having much more better grip over their feelings and understanding of themselves. When people violate others, when people make others feel powerless and helpless, you know that they are sharing what they already have. So rather than blaming, have compassion for them and say, okay, fine, probably you're doing what you're doing because that's what you've got in life. How about easing our own feelings collectively, individually, and as society, and spreading the whole movement where everybody remains in a peaceful space and continue progressing in a very peaceful manner. It's certainly possible to progress in a peaceful manner if you decide so. So let's join hand and contribute in whatever way possible. Do start approaching schools and colleges where we can teach emotional management to a lot of people. You can reach out. Ritu's here. Probably Ritu will help you coordinate with one of the facilitators, and let's take this forward. And even if we don't really connect with individual institutions individually, never miss a chance to catch a youngster, a youth, a child who's emotionally distressed. Reach out and help them where they can master the art of being at peace instantly on their own without help from the adults, because not all emotional troubles are so difficult to handle. A lot of them can be handled at source, as and when it happens. And you don't have to carry forward and contaminate the whole society with our emotional distress. Catch them young, help them young, so that we have a better society, better people around us. And when we heal other children, we are healing a child in us too. So reach out to as many children as possible. We have Dr. Paula Goel. If she's up to it, would you like to just add something to it, Dr. Paula? Because she's a pediatrician and maybe she can tell you her experiences. Only if you're up to it.
Yes, ma'am. So, whatever you said, ma'am, it is completely, I would say, bang on. We do practice it, but not in such great depth. We do say because the brain is developing till the age of 25 years. So, the brain growth, there are two factors. There's one part of the brain which is called as the amygdala. That is the part which is absolutely stimulated. So, whatever they go through, they see that part of the brain is completely stimulated. And the brakes of the brain, which is the frontal cortex, that actually develops and matures by 25 years of age. So that is why we take the youth group up to 25, and we say that whatever the damage occurs till 25, and you'll see that most of the time we consider people of young adults like 20, 22. We say, okay, they have become adults. They're physically grown as adults, but they are immature. So even companies, colleges, society, they cannot fit in, and that's why this entire mismatch system occurs. And madam, like I have been working with chronic diseases, and all these chronic diseases, they start off actually in the teenage years. All your diabetes, your heart problems, lipids, cervical spondylosis, trigger fingers, joint issues, the initial part starts, but it is not manifested and is manifested later. But if you are able to, it's a fantastic idea. which approaching the schools, colleges. But however, we've been trying to do that from the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, but I think we have not been very successful in that because schools are very rigid. So if we can come up with a way to break their rigidity, we can R5 and come up with radical statements to change the
Yes.
principal's mind. That is what is coming to my head now. Then there will be more, you know, open to accept things because up till now they have been very resistant. So they don't give us time. But yes,
Right.
with radical, I'm sure we can enter and make a lot of difference. It is
We've been
wonderful,
able
madam.
to, yeah, we've been able to get at least 2 schools for the town that I visited, and slowly it's improving. I mean, people are coming forward. So do spread a word if you know the
Yes,
authorities,
definitely.
trustees, and we can reach out. We have a team of people who would love to reach out to various schools, and let's create this. It's so enriching and rewarding.
We
If-
actually used to, madam, take up the medical checkup in the school, and we have caught
Um,
so many children with early diseases. But
yeah.
I'm thinking, along with it, if we are able to incorporate radical and take out the mental health issues also, will make so much of a difference.
Yes.
Phenomenal difference can take place. I think
So
it's a fantastic idea. We
yeah,
should
so
do it.
we all together can give a joint intent to touch as many children as possible. Okay, let's at least intend, and it will all unfold and open up. Thank you so much, Dr. Paula, for adding so much of information to it. And thank you, everyone. And I trust we're going to touch many more people with every passing day. Have a great day and lots of love. If there are any specific statements that we can do as a group, to post them on the WhatsApp group. Bye bye and see you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you.
very much.